Adom. This bulletin is coming to you live from our studios here at Joy 99.7 FM in Accra, also on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. More than a dozen affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Word Community Radio in the northern region, Pad FM in the Savannah region, Gaskia FM in the Bono East region. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. Coming up, chaos at Ghana's ports as Unipass take over clearance operations by GCNet, and it reveals widespread technical anomalies. I beg your pardon. We'll bring you details. Also, authorities at the Kumasi Central and in Nsawam prisons call for urgent action to decongest the facility in the wake of a COVID-19 pandemic.
We are made to quarantine some of the new inmates who come in from our courts. So that is our biggest problem, but we are putting up to it.
In business, sports sector taking a hit by coronavirus pandemic as Puma Kids reduces financial package in GFA sponsorship. We've got details at 6:15.
And corporate organizations continue to walk a tightrope due to the coronavirus pandemic. Walmart Ghana Limited has partnered Joy Prime to celebrate frontline mothers.
We are particularly collaborating with multimedia to celebrate our mothers, especially the frontline workers, because we feel they've really done so well.
We have details of these and other stories in the package. Thank you for joining us. Now, there is a strong push for government to restore online clearance platform GCNet following chaos at the ports. Freight forwarders have been left stranded for days after the takeover of clearance operations by Unipass, which has revealed some technical anomalies. Some blame GCNet's abrupt departure for the situation. Yesterday, members of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders staged a protest in Takrade in the western region. They claim the Unipass system has so many technical anomalies which continue to waste lots of turnaround time. An executive member of the Institute, Paul Atu Baini, said the system over the period had not aided in the smooth transactions of business at the port, causing too much delay, thereby affecting planning and forecasting of such businesses. We'll hear from him shortly. First, though, my colleague Winston Ama joins me in studio. Winston, how did we get here?
Well, so, Komla, it all started in 2018, March 2018, when Ghana decided to sign a contract with Ghana Link through the Ministry of Trade and Industry to run the Integrated Customs Management Systems, ICUMS as we've come to know it, together with Unipass in Korea. So it was supposed to start on the 1st of March as part of the piloting system. It went through our frontiers. And then on the 1st of April, it started at the Takrade ports. And on 28th of April started at Tema ports. The challenge, however, is that, according to the letter that was signed by the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority on the 24th of April 2020, GCNet and West Blue were supposed to continue because those who had already started their processes were supposed to finish those processes through the GCNet and West Blue systems. However, there's a bit of a miscommunication, and so GCNet and West Blue stopped operations, creating all the challenges. If you go to Takrade, which will be going shortly also, they've talked about how there's been a lot of challenges with valuation and classification. But we're now told that the Ghana Revenue Authority, through its Commissioner General, Amishadai Owusu-Amwa, has actually indicated that West Blue and GCNet should run a parallel system together with Unipass up till the 31st of May, and then from the 1st of June, all things being equal, Unipass takes over fully.
Thank you very much, Winston Ama. We can now listen to Executive Member of the Institute, Paul Atu Baini.
When you pay your duty, you may not even find it in the system when you come to the bank. You have to go round to find out what is really happening. Even when the vessel comes, earlier on, they will just do the rotation, everything on the system, so that you'll be able to go wherever you are to be able to get the necessary information. But now, the vessel has to come, they have to tally, they have to make sure it goes to the other sectors. We don't have a problem. But what is happening, other people, the stakeholders, are not able to hook into the system. And so it's giving us a problem.
You had the executive member of the Institute of Freight Forwarders, Paul Atu Baini, speaking to us. Let's do some other stories now. Authorities at the Kumasi Central prisons are calling for urgent action to decongest the facility. Originally built to house 800 inmates, it currently accommodates almost 2,000. That's almost 3 times the normal capacity. Ashanti Regional Deputy Director of Prisons says despite strict observance to anti-COVID-19 protocols, new inmates have had to be quarantined. Usman Tasemmedo says the situation has made quarantining of new inmates very difficult. He spoke when President of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry donated assorted items worth 12,000 cedis to the prison. Love FM's Prince Apia was there.
Congestion and attendant health challenges at the Kumasi Central Prison have persisted for years. Though the prison is observing most of the COVID-19 protocols, officials are worried about having to quarantine new inmates despite limited space. Mr. Usman Tesembedu is the second in command at the Kumasi Central Prisons.
We wash our hands, we test our temperature before we enter. Our biggest problem is the quarantine. As far as the COVID-19 is concerned, we are made to quarantine some of the new inmates who come in from our courts. So that is our biggest problem, but we are putting up to it. We have been able to segregate some of the cells to be able to quarantine some of the new inmates who are brought in from the court, because we cannot refuse the judge's order from a court of competent jurisdiction, and then we need assistance so that we can decongest some of the prisons establishment that we have in the country.
Prince Apia's report that meanwhile the Nsawam medium security prison is appealing to corporate organizations to support its efforts to prevent an outbreak and possible spread of a coronavirus in the tightly congested facility. Latif Idris has more.
Authorities have created a holding center for fresh inmates, but there is a challenge. This holding center is still stationed inside the main prison yard.
The facility was built to house 800 inmates, but as it stands now, we have more than 3,000 inmates in there. So what it means is that social distancing is something that is difficult to achieve in there. But we have managed to empty some cells that are being used as an observation cell. I must say that the fact that we have the observation cell in the prison is not the best.
Dr. Phyllis Kumedro of the University of Cape Coast, who donated some food items to the Nsawam medium security prison, say this is their own small way of helping the underprivileged.
We thought it's wise also to come and also support them fight this COVID-19. This kind of donation actually has been part of our annual donation as an institution that we do every year.
Latif Idris's report there. Let's just stay with COVID-19 a while longer. And as you may be already aware, industries are walking a tightrope due to the pandemic. But there are a few others that have decided to lend a helping hand to the vulnerable. Wilma Africa Limited is one of those. They have partnered the multimedia group to celebrate gallant mothers on the front lines this season. MFR Nancy Dradose has the rest of the story.
Wilma Africa Limited, manufacturers of Frytol, has for the past 10 years been one of the leading agro-business companies in Ghana involved in the refining, packaging and distribution of edible oils. However, in recent times, industries has taken a hit from the coronavirus pandemic, and Wilma is no exception. Patience Perry is head of marketing.
We import some of our products. We import our fortune rice and bag it here. And due to the closure of our borders and other stuff, we haven't been able to receive some of the orders that we placed, even though we have high demand for them.
Despite the challenges, the company says it will not relent in its effort to honor and celebrate frontline mothers as we celebrate Mother's Day.
Over the years, we always celebrate mothers, because without mothers, we wouldn't be where we are currently. This year, for instance, we are particularly collaborating with multimedia to celebrate our mothers, especially the frontline workers, because we feel they've really done so well.
This is going to be done in partnership with Joy Prime. Channel coordinator Gladys Oseo-Redu has been explaining how your mother can be a part of this beautiful experience.
We giving every frontline mother that opportunity to be especially celebrated. We're throwing out the challenge. We say all you have to do is tell us your story. Right. What is that touching story of a frontline mother you know?
The Mother's Day celebration is on the theme, My Mother, My Hero.
Nancy Dradose there. Now, it's been 4 months since Joy News and all the multimedia group platforms started the Arrive Alive campaign to help reduce road traffic accidents through road safety education. The campaign has been welcomed by not only government but civil society groups and Ghanaians as well. For Central Regional Minister Kwame Duncan, the Arrive Alive campaign could be a trump card to curbing the many road traffic accidents in Ghana, which claim over 2,000 lives every year.
The period that you started Arrive Alive, you have had instances where the very thing you are projecting to the entire country gets happening and happening and happening. What I've seen, the characterization of the multimedia is that even when the going is getting tough, that's when you get going. The call on all of us, we have not responded in a manner that corresponds with the vigor that you have placed in this. And I pray and hope that minds will change and change quite quickly.
Kwame Duncan is a Central Regional Minister. He will end the bulletin for us. We say to you that obey all road traffic regulations. While you use the road, we want you to hashtag Arrive Alive. Have a great day today.
Charlie, check this. engine, music to my